Okay, this is a crimp bead with just a little bit of wire sticking out, but the crimp bead just gives you enough surface that it won't go through the small end of the clasp. So once I pull that through, there's the crimp on the wire. I cannot pull that back through. So that is firmly in there. Then you'll do that once you put your beads on this wire. You do the same thing on the other end. Okay. All right. The same principle applies if you're using an elastic or any sort of cording. You would put your knot, bury it down in the big side, and then it comes out the back end. But so your knot has to be buried down in that hole. Moving. Now, I used to bake these in the oven buried in a bead. I really don't do that anymore because they do lose a little bit of power, and I want them to be as powerful as possible. So what my husband did was we ran around the house looking for something that was exactly the same size. We found a chopstick that was exactly the same size, and so he cut a bunch of pieces that are exactly the same size, and I bake with this inside the bead, and then I take this out and put these in at the very last. So let me show you how I do that. I'm going to make a pebble here. So I would have a stack. There's no magic to the number here. I just have a stack of cutouts, circles, and I'm going to bury this half deep in here. Then I take a little Repel gel. This is Cato Repel gel, and I paint some on these surfaces, and what the heck, we'll paint it here too. And what this does is it will not stick together when it's baking then. And I'm going to into shape in my hand and shoving it into pebble shape. Now I could trim and smooth it with a knife, but you get the idea. And that this leaves me a space for the magnets, and they'll go together perfectly. So I can just keep blending this, moving it, doing what I need until I get it into a shape that's pleasing to me. And I bake that, and once it's baked, then I pull it apart and glue the magnet inside.